Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is CHANTALKIARRA, and in this video I'm doing a tutorial on this fall look. This is also a video comparing the Plouise base, which I use on this eye, to the Makeup Revolution concealer, which I also use on this eye. And it's a comparison between these two to see if the Makeup Revolution concealer holds up to the base of Plouise. So if you want to see how I created this look and to see whether these two bases can be compared or if this is a dupe actually for this Plouise base, then please keep on watching. Or if you'd like to see other videos such as this one and more tutorials, please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Okay, so I'm starting off with my Wet n Wild pencil. I like to use a pencil over a pomade because it's easier for me to sketch on my eyebrows. My eyebrows are fairly small, so I feel like the pencil helps and it's better to sketch them out with. Next, I'm going to go in with this Dermaco concealer that I found on an Asian website. I wanted to test out to see if this concealer was actually full coverage, but it turns out it's very sheer and you have to layer it. But it did do its purpose in carving out my eyebrows, but I'm still going to go over it with my concealer. I'm gonna go over it with this Plouise base, and I use Room of 3 because I love this shade. I feel like it's light enough to show my full potential of the eyeshadows, and it's still kind of like a concealer that I would use for my face. So I like to go in and pat this on, and then I'm gonna put it on my lids and then blend it out. Now, I've used different methods to blend this out, and a lot of them were fails, but this brush that I found, which I found in my sister's room, so I'm not sure what brush it is one of the best ways I found to blend it out, which is kind of like just a dense brush, so I do like this method better. I'm going to go for the top of my eyebrows with a Dermaco because it does do the purpose of concealing and sketching out my eyebrows, but it's just sheer. Now I'm just going to go in with a dark brown shade, which kind of looks purple, but it's brown. Now, the pros of Plouise is that it's easy to blend, it has great coverage, and it gives good pigmentation to the shadows. So I do like that. As you can see, I'm able to blend the eyeshadow out. And I'm going to show the eyeshadow color in a minute. The cons would be that it's easy to crease and it doesn't really dry quick, but that's not necessarily a con, it just doesn't dry as quick as a normal concealer, quote unquote, but it does do its purpose. I do like this base a lot. Now I'm going in with red, and I'm doing this because I'm trying to create a type of burgundy color, so I'm going in with red over the brown, and then I'm going to go back in with brown, and then I'm going to go back in with red. And I'm just going to go back in with this brush, this Morphe brush, to blend it out. So as you can see, I'm starting to create burgundy. So we're just going to go back and forth between brown and red. Now I'm going in with orange. That's to blend out the edges. By the way, if I sound bad, that's because I have a cold, so bear with me. Now I'm going in with a yellow just to make the brow bone pop and just to bring in the colors together. I feel like the yellow brings out the orange brings out the red. And then I'm just going to blend it out. going to use black. I love using black because I feel like black gives dimension to eyeshadows. So I'm going in with black to darken up the crease and as well as to make the red a little bit darker, have more of a gradient effect. And I'm going in with this Morphe brush to blend out the black. I like a smaller brush so it's more defined to that area. And I'm just going to blend out the black. Now we're going to carve out the lids. Usually what I do is I try not to completely cover the black, but if I do, I just go back over the black and deepen up the crease, which you'll see me doing. Now I'm going in with this NYX multitasker, and I like to do this because if I'm like doing like a metallic shade like this gold that I'm using off the palette, it likes to stick better when I do a medium or multitasker medium. I feel like it makes the eyeshadow pop and I'm able to get the pigment exactly how I want it. Now we're gonna go in on this side, and this side is the Makeup Revolution side. I'm starting over with the same brown shadow that looks purple, but it's brown. Now, the pros of this concealer is that it blends out well, just like the Plouise. It also allows the shadows to pop, and it dries very well. It dries faster than the Plouise base. So I'm just repeating the same steps I did on the other eye, on this same eye. So it's back and forth between red and brown, and then blending it out. And I like how bright this concealer is, because as you can see, the red looks really pigmented. And that's because I use this bright of a concealer. I just wouldn't recommend you put it on top of your eyebrows, and I tend to do that. So the cons of this concealer, I guess, would be it creases. You have to keep blotting it out, and it could be patchy if you don't put enough or if you don't go in layers. But it still blends out perfectly. And this is that gold eyeshadow that I used in the previous eye. I'm just going to apply it the same way on this eye. Now, for my face, I'm going to start off with my Mario Badescu facial spray so that my face is moisturized. And then I'm going to go in with Milk and Magnesia. And I use this because I'm a very oily person. So I do use this to control my oil and my shine. So I put this on before I put on my primer and before I put on my foundation. And I'm going to prime with the Fenty Beauty Primer. And next for foundation, we're going to do Black Opal foundation because I love the consistency of this foundation. And the stick, it just has a different feel compared to liquid. I feel like it has a good coverage as well. So I'm just going to go in with these two colors. Just to try and get my shade the best way I can. And I'm using the Real Techniques Instapop foundation brush just to blend it in. Sometimes my color match is a hit or miss. Sometimes it's too red, sometimes it's too brown. So I try and get it the best way I can. And then if it's not completely this way I want it, I do go back in and try and use concealers or a contour to help get it to my shade. Now I'm going to conceal under my eyes with the AOA Concealer from Shop Miss A. I love this concealer because it's a wand for one and it's easy to apply and then it blends out perfectly fine. It's not patchy whatsoever. Now I'm going to set with the Banana Setting Powder. And sometimes I use a translucent powder in it, so I mix it with translucent powder so that it's not as yellow. But I do like to set underneath my eyes with this. Sometimes. Now I'm going to go on the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and my chin. Now I'm going to contour my face using this concealer in the shade 803. And this is a way that I bring back my color into my face so that my face is not just one color, it has a gradient. Now sometimes I contour my nose, sometimes I don't, but today I decided to contour my nose. And now I'm going to go in my NYX No Filter pressed finishing powder to bring in my color, just to smooth everything out, just to fill in any spots. Sometimes if my under eye is too light, I just go over it, and you'll see me go over it just to make sure that it's not too yellow. And now I'm just going to carve out my contour and blend it out. And this is the finished look. thank everybody for watching.